Hi, I'm Mike Steven, and this is Gear Up. Today we're going to talk about things on the bicycle and things that you can wear on your body that will make you more comfortable, more secure, and perform better on the bicycle. There's some odds and ends that definitely will make a difference to those three things that I mentioned. First, we're going to go over what goes on your body. Padded bicycling shorts. So something like this right here has a pad where you sit on the seat. So when you have that pad, it pads your sit bones, and it works as if, I use this comparison all the time. If you were to go out and you usually don't use a rake and you go out for 6 hours and rake in the backyard, what's gonna happen to your hands? You're gonna get blisters, they're gonna get sore. The exact same thing, think of this as work gloves for your butt. So if you go out on a long cycle ride without padded shorts, you're probably gonna have a really sore butt when you get back. This helps protect your butt. There's other products that can help as well, but this is something that works incredibly well. This is something that most cyclists should have. And you can wear something like this underneath just a pair of your regular shorts, or you can wear it underneath a pair of cycling shorts. What's different about a pair of cycling shorts is it's going to be specifically designed for cycling. So some of the things that it has is, look at this back stretch panel. If you look at that and how much it's stretching, when you are bent over on the bicycle like this and maneuvering all over the place, that's important. The material is also made out of stretch. If you look at, again, this is just the rest of the material. It's not as stretchable as that, but it's very stretchy. So a short like this is made out of light, breathable, wicking material that's very stretch orientated, so that no matter what position you're on the bicycle, you'll be a lot more comfortable. So something like this makes a huge difference. The other thing is that people get sick and tired of wrecking their cargo shorts or whatever shorts they're wearing, their board shorts. This material, this four-way stretch material, is quite resilient in a crash. It stretches and gives versus tearing usually. So a pair of cycling shorts should last you a long time. You'll probably want to buy a new pair just to get a different color or get something fun before you actually have to buy a new pair. The next thing I'm going to go over is gloves. So we've gone over one contact point to the bike, which is sitting down on the seat. The seat, we're going to go over in a little bit after we finish clothing, but the first contact point was the seat. We talked about shorts. The next contact point is the handlebars, and with the handlebars comes gloves. I like gloves for a few reasons. One reason I like gloves is for the absolute simple fact that if you do crash or go down, it's a lot nicer to slide on this than on this. This usually will protect your hands from cuts and scrapes and gashes, so it works as an armor or as a protectant. The other thing I like about gloves is if you look at these pads are in very specific places on the glove. The reason why these pads are in specific places is because if you've cycled for any length of time, you've probably got numb hands once or twice. That's the ulnar nerve being pinched. This puts a high point here and a high point here that's out of gel, so it's still cushy and soft, but allows the ulnar nerve to run through the center of it, giving you a lot less chance of having those numb, uncomfortable hands. So there's kind of two major benefits of a glove. One, protection for going down. Two, protecting that ulnar nerve so that you don't get those numb hands. The third contact point on the bike is your pedals. So we've talked about the seat, the handlebars, now we're going to the pedals. So a lot of people overlook footwear on bicycles. There is specific biking footwear, and yes, it makes a huge difference riding bicycle-specific footwear. Whether you're clipped in, that's where you actually are locked to the bike with an SPD or a clip of some sort, or this is a flat shoe, it's called. So just like a regular running shoe, but the rubber is made of super tacky, grippy rubber. It's actually a climbing rubber that this is made out of, built for climbing shoes, for mountain climbing. So it's very, very grippy and tacky. The other thing is you've got more support in a cycling shoe. So it gives you a little bit more support in terms of your foot is sitting over top of the pedal and you're pushing all your weight and all your might down. You don't want the shoe to be bending over the pedal and making your foot do this. You want your foot to be supported. So to support the foot properly, to give the foot good grip and stability on the pedals of the bicycle. And the last feature that I really like about a shoe like this is that if it gets wet, it dries extremely quick. This is almost like a rubber or a plastic material that the upper is made out of. It's very durable. That's one thing that type of upper provides. The next thing, it doesn't absorb water, so it's hydrophobic. This shoe does not get waterlogged and super heavy if you're riding on a rainy day. So, which also gives you comfort. So that's going over footwear. As we move from footwear, I briefly touched on pedals. So we've gone over the clothing end of things, or the stuff that you put on your body. Now let's talk about the stuff that you can put on your bike to make you more comfortable and secure. One of the biggest things that happens in the bicycle industry is the pedals that come on a bicycle are really only meant for a demo ride. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the honest truth. They're designed so that you can go into a bicycle shop, take it for a test ride, and decide which bicycle you would like. When you get a bicycle, you should buy a pair of aftermarket pedals, and I'll explain why. A regular pedal has got a plastic body with a plastic outer. They're like $5 pedals. They're very inexpensive. They're not very good quality. You can slip off them very easily. So that comes down to a security and a safety standpoint, not only a performance standpoint, because one person will use the pins and the grip of this pedal with the big platform and the pin sticking out for performance to allow them to corner faster and get into corners a lot more so that they're connected with their bicycle. The person that says, hey, I'm not that person, I'm just out for a bike ride, is going to feel more secure on the bicycle because your feet are firmly planted. If you want to feel out of control, take your feet off your feet off your pedals while you're riding your bicycle, and you will feel very unstable. So if you can keep your feet planted firmly on the pedals, that's where you're going to feel securest. That's where you're going to be able to handle the bike the best. So not only for performance, but also for security and safety, I recommend going to like a pedal of some sort that keeps you on the pedal. There's two different ways to do that. One is called a flat. This is a flat pedal designed to work with shoes like this. If you look at it, that interface is not going anywhere. It's very sticky, very grippy. It's an awesome interface. The second way to create an interface is with what's called a clipless pedal. And this is going against everything that I just said. It's like a super small pedal with no grip on it whatsoever. What the difference is that you wear a specific cycling shoe that has a clip on the bottom of the shoe that actually snaps into this pedal, just like a ski binding would snap on to your foot. So you step into this and you're actually locked in. The big benefit of clipless pedals is that you can pull upwards as well as pushing downwards. So you get what's called round pedaling. It's a very efficient way to pedal a bicycle, and on top of that efficiency, it's going to give you the ability to recruit your hamstring. So your hamstring is on the back of your leg. You're usually using your quad to push down. You're not even accessing your hamstring if you're on flats, whereas with a clipless pedal, you can pull up on the upstroke, making you much more efficient, and you're going to be stronger on the bicycle and move faster on the bicycle. Clipless pedals do take a little bit to get used to. To unclip from them, you've got to lead with your heel. So if I'm showing with a shoe, you go like that to unclip. If you try to pull up, it's not going to come off. It's designed to stay on it for that. So there is a little bit of a learning curve with clipless. Now we've done the pedals, we've talked about shoes, we've talked about pedals. We're going to move up to the saddle of the bike. This and this is actually the same seat. This is a comfort bike. This bike is totally targeted at comfort. All of the things on this bicycle are targeted at comfort. So the saddle on this has nice wide support, so your sit bones will have lots of support. Your butt will have lots of support so that you're not feeling like you're riding on a little splitting wedge, a little narrow saddle. So if you're uncomfortable on your saddle, look into different saddle types, because there's all sorts of different saddle types. The saddle that comes on a bike is usually quite a narrow saddle, but you can upgrade anywhere to this kind of width for like your pleasure rider. The person riding more upright is going to go with a saddle like this, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable. The other place of contact is up here on the grips. So grips, we talked about the gloves having padding for the ulnar nerve. Grips also give extra support. There's these grips that have this extra wing that's sitting down here. That extra wing is to support your hand and disperse the pressure over a wider surface area than just the round grip. You add that and you're dispersing the pressure and you're alleviating some of that hand numbness and tingling that you get in your hands. So grips like this, aftermarket grips like this, absolutely can go on any bicycle. Whereas a bike like this guy, again, I'm speaking as a comfort bike. The comfort bikes, they come with them stock. They come stock with that super comfy saddle. The other major complaint that I hear in the bicycle industry is, man, I'm way down like this, it's uncomfortable. My shoulders and neck hurt, my lower back hurts. That can be solved quite quickly on a bicycle. So one option is by attaching this to the head tube of your bike, or sorry, to the fork of the bike. And then basically what happens is the handlebars now sit up on top of this, effectively raising you 4 inches on the bicycle. So you go from this position up to this position, which is a huge difference. So you're gonna have a lot less back pressure and a lot less back pain. If you're like, well, isn't that gonna affect the ride characteristics of the bike? And which, yes, it does. As you come higher, it's harder to climb on the bicycle and it doesn't descend quite as nice, but it definitely addresses a comfort thing. So for those hardcore riders that demand the most out of their bicycle, if they want to get a little bit more comfortable, you can go to a riser bar that comes up a little bit. It doesn't sacrifice performance. And again, you're going to be able to get into those corners, descend and ascend with authority. Last but not least, there's a stem options. The stem is this part of the bicycle right here. And the stem, again, this stem has a pivot on it. So it can be adjusted anywhere from this steep down to there. So if you picture as it's coming up, it's also making the bike shorter. It makes the bike shorter and taller. So this is, again, a comfort focused thing. Some people use these adjustable stems just to figure out what stem will work for them, and then they get a fixed stem because fixed stems are much stiffer and much more performance orientated. Whereas if you're more of a weekend warrior or a fair trail rider, you can actually ride with these stems no problem, and you won't notice anything different. I hope that this goes over a few things that'll make you more comfortable on your bicycle and make you want to ride your bicycle more often. Thanks for watching. Hi, I'm Mike Stephen, and this is Gear Up. Today we're going to talk about backpacks and other carrying options. I believe that anywhere you go, whether it's on a huge backcountry expedition, or multiple nights, to little day trips in the backcountry, to skiing trips in the backcountry, to taking your kid for a hike in the backcountry, all the way to the urban settings, walking around cities, going to school. I believe that there is carrying devices or backpacks that will make your life easier and you'll enjoy. So I'm just going to go through a few of these categories and highlight a few of the points that make them maybe better than some of the things that you've seen out there. So first off, we're going to go with the reintroduction of the hip bag. So hip bags, which used to be called fanny packs, have gained a bunch of steam in the last couple years. Simply because some people don't want, on a hot day, they don't want their entire back being covered by a backpack and generating lots of sweat. So it's just your lower lumbar that's covered. And you can usually get enough gear in here to go for a bike ride, to go for a light hike, to run downtown and grab some gear. It's very popular in the enduro scene. So enduro riders, basically can get everything they need in here, their nutrition, something to be able to change a tube, just the odds and ends that they'll need for riding, they can get and fit in here. And the benefit is then they don't have a big backpack on, or a bigger camelback or that style of backpack on when they're descending, because the bigger backpacks definitely pull you around the corners. As you kind of turn into a corner, the backpack filled with water sways and it can deflect where you're going. So that's the hip pack. One that I'm going to go over that's kind of unique and different and is fun is the running vests. So running vests, there's people doing long distance running these days. And by long distance, I mean like crazy long distance, like hundreds of kilometers in terms of their runs. So this can be used anywhere from that to smaller runs. The benefit to a vest is that it brings everything tight in on your body, and when you're running, it's not jiggling and bouncing around. You can use the flasks in it for either water or gels, depending on what you're doing. You have little pockets here to grab, again, nutrition quickly. So this is more designed for that person that wants to be light and fast, whether it's the person that wants to run a backcountry trail or a person that wants to do tons of kilometers out on the road. You've got the ability to stock what you need on your body and have it quick access so that you can get at it. If you look on the back here, there's also a place to either store a little bit of gear, or if you're doing something really big, you can put a water bladder in that will come over your shoulder, and you can have probably in the ballpark of 1.5 liters of water on your back as well. So something like this, even though it's quite small, can take you an awful long distance. Next, we're gonna switch gears just for fun and talk about just urban backpacks. So when you're hanging out and going downtown and you've got to carry stuff, whether you be a student having to carry books and a laptop, that's what this is for. So laptop sleeve, your laptop can slide in, it's fully padded on both sides, gives you the ability to take your laptop, get it out nice and fast and easy, whether you're studying in a coffee shop or whatever you're doing, and allows you to carry your laptop. And then a lot of times this type of backpack comes with an organizer on the inside, so an organizer to be able to put pens and pencils and all that kind of stuff. So there's like your total urban backpacks that are designed for in-city use. Usually better quality ones are going to have a little bit more breathable material on the back. They're going to have more breathable material on the shoulder straps for those hot days. The other thing that they have is an adjustable sternum strap so that you can adjust that. And the sternum strap just helps the backpack stay closed and not want to slip off your shoulder. Nice easy handle at the top to be able to carry it like a briefcase when you go indoors and don't want to be carrying it on your back. But that's just like kind of an urban style backpack. Next up, we've got what I call the day backpack. So a day hike. This can be used for schooling as well. It can be multi-purpose, but like that backpack that I just showed you is definitely specific for that urban, that schooling, that kind of thing. And you can find a backpack to suit any needs. That's what I'm trying to get at in this show, is that you can find a backpack that is absolutely designed for what you do. This backpack is super lightweight, so the material that it's made out of is crazy lightweight and very quick dry. So it dries extremely quickly. It's very lightweight. If you look at the back panel on this, it actually arcs up off your back with the netting, and it's designed to be suspended off your back, so you can actually get a cross vent through the backpack. So on those hot days when you're really putting out lots of effort on a hike, it's just going to allow that wind to cool down your back and you won't feel quite as muggy and hot. You can also displace the load and center it more over your shoulders by snugging this guy down. Most of the time these guys are quite simple in terms of like a big carrying space in here, and then like a little hood zipper to put your kind of fine details, your wallet, your keys, whatever, the small things that you need to get at quickly. Again, most backpacks nowadays, you're able to put hydration sleeves in, or a lot of backpacks, I should say, that you can put hydration sleeves in. So you can put a hydration sleeve, 2-3 liter of water, and it just comes down your shoulder and meets you there. Instead of having an Nalgene bouncing around on your hip or having to carry it out hiking, it's just all on your back and good to go. So that kind of goes over a day pack. And I just want to emphasize that in the day pack realm of things, there's ones that are specifically designed for backcountry skiers. There's ones that are specifically designed for people that want to take pictures and film and do that kind of stuff in the backcountry. There's a pack designed for absolutely everything. Just go into your local pack retailer, a pack specialty shop, and they'll show you all the different packs that you can get into. I'm going to do this one next. So this is a kid backpack to carry a kid. So you can carry your child out hiking. Again, they're using that to really breathable material, comfy shoulder straps. This has a big hip belt. This is where we start to get into hip belts and start to put the weight over top of your hips. If you put the weight on top of your iliac crest, which is the top of your hip bone, it takes a lot of the pressure off your shoulders. So you want to distribute the weight between hip and shoulder so that neither one gets overly tired. And you can adjust that from one to the other as you're hiking. Obviously, this pack is designed to securely hold a child with nice comfortable foot straps for the child to put their feet in the foot straps so they're not just dangling and they won't lose circulation with their legs kind of coming through here. They are strapped in kind of a seat belt, so they're in a safe place. The other kind of thing that's neat about it is when you set it down, or when you take it off, it's a seat for them to sit in also on the ground because it will stand upright on the ground. And then last but not least, you still have some cargo spaces in the back to be able to store some water and all that kind of stuff. So this is for the young family that wants to get out there and wants to continue backpacking with a little one. And the last backpack we'll go over is what a lot of people think about when you say backpack and backcountry and hiking is the multi-day or overnight backpack, the backpack that can haul enough stuff that you can stay over multiple nights and be comfortable out there. Have your sleeping bag, have your tent, have all your cookware, your food, your water, have everything on your backpack, your survival stuff. Everything that you need, you can fit into a backpack like this. To give you an idea right there, that says 85. Usually when backpacks have a number on them, it's usually referencing the liters. So this backpack is 85 liters. So it has 85 liters of carrying capacity. So that's an important number to figure out what size of backpack you want, because you can go anywhere from like low liters of like 12 liters all the way up to in the ballpark of 90 liters. Just remember, the bigger your backpack, the more you're gonna put in it and the more you gotta carry. Whereas if you kind of go with a smaller backpack, you're gonna force yourself to carry the right stuff instead of carrying everything. So some of the features on these backpacks, which are really cool, basically you've got ice axe loops to be able to put an ice axe in, loop it back on itself. You've got the ability to carry things externally if you want with all the straps that are on the back of it. You've got a gear dry out area. If I put my hand in here, you can kind of see that this is a really breathable fabric here. You can put wet gear in there and let it dry as you're hiking, or you can put your rain jacket or rain hood for the backpack in there, so that you've got that option. The other thing that you're going to find is you're going to find some side pockets to be able to store a water bottle in. You've got nice quick access pockets on your hips to store maybe your camera, your phone, quick snacks that you might want to get at. Again, most of these backpacks are all hydration compatible, so you can throw a hydration sleeve in it. Very breathable in terms of the material, and a lot more cushioning. As you move up in your liters of backpack, you're going to get more cushioning because you're basically going to be carrying heavier loads. You're also going to get more of a frame in the backpack, so a hard frame to support the load properly. You're also going to get a much beefier hip belt that's going to allow you to displace more weight over your hips and it not feel the pain over the long duration of a hike. A lot of packs these days, people are using hiking poles. You can put your hiking pole away and have it slung on your hip to be hands-free if you need to be hands-free at a certain point. The last feature I'd like to go over on this bag is kind of a cool one. this hood right here zips off and turns into a backpack. So you get to your main camp at a lake and you want to go do a bowl walk or hike around the rim of the lake. It's a beautiful alpine lake and you want to get up onto the ridges around it, but you're planning on returning back to the main lake area for sleeping. You can take this and you've got a nice little day pack. On top of that, your pack is still waterproof because it's designed to be able to be closed, and sorry, not waterproof, but water resistant. You need to put a pack cover on to be waterproof. But those are some of the features that you're gonna find in a big pack like this. And hopefully I've shown you that there's kind of a pack for everything, so that no matter what you do out there, there's a way to carry it comfortably and efficiently. Thanks for watching. This has been another episode of Gear Up.